You are something of a celebrity for having been on Britain's Got Talent.
Yes, although I expect most people you'd have on the show would have done really well, I failed spectacularly.
Oh, so you're actually famous for failing?
Yes, that's what I'm known for.
Wow. And how was the experience? Tell me what happened.
Devastating.
The experience was devastating.
Yeah. So I invented a magic trick and we went through lots of rehearsals. All the rehearsals went really well. It came to the day of filming and I told everyone that I met on the production team that I would need about 20 minutes backstage to set this up.
Yeah.
And everyone said, that's fine, not a problem. Someone came to me at about 4:30 in the afternoon and they said, we need you on stage now.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So absolutely nothing was set up properly. Moments before I went on, I was duct taping things together, throwing things in pockets. And I remember standing on the edge of that stage thinking this is almost certainly going to go wrong. This is almost certainly going to be a disaster.
Oh my goodness. And do you know that moment that you're talking about?
Yeah.
People have experienced that if they've stood up to give a speech somewhere, if they, you know, we've all been there, haven't
we? Yes, absolutely. And I went out and everything possible that could have gone wrong did go wrong. And everything that could not possibly have gone wrong also managed to go wrong.
It's like a double whammy.
Yeah, a little bit. It was an absolute disaster. I had 3,000 people in the audience yelling off at me. And Amanda Holden was absolutely horrible about my teeth.
Oh, man. Do you know, those shows, they kind of make me sick.
Yeah. It's a chance you take on going on a show like that, and I knew that a few things could have gone wrong, but I never expected that many things to go wrong after I planned it out so carefully.
Yeah. So you describe it as devastating.
Yes.
So tell me, you leave the stage, you've had all
Yes.
3,000 people shouting off, off, off.
Yeah.
Like, how did you feel? What went through your mind? I can't imagine. Like, I literally can't imagine.
And to be honest, I can't even remember the first half hour after that.
Yeah.
I was just stunned.
Yeah.
Just think, what on earth has happened? And then I think it slowly dawned on me that this wasn't just in front of 3,000 people. This would be broadcast in front of millions and millions of people.
Yeah.
And at the time I thought my career is going to be ruined. No one's ever going to hire me for a job. This is going to haunt me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And I can't even explain the feeling of just dread and horror that this had happened.
Yeah. And then how did you come to terms with it?
Well, at the time I was running school camps in the UK, and the day after it aired, a group came in, and I was really, really hoping that this group had not seen the most popular show on TV. They had. As soon as they walked in the door, they started pointing, it's him, it's him. No, I've got an identical twin.
Oh, goodness. This is like the start of the rest of your life. This
Basically.
is like, it's going to be like this forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they all asked what had happened, and I went round and I asked one of them, you know, what's your talent? You know, one said they're good at playing football, one said they're good at dancing, one said they're good at something else. It came to me and I said, my talent is failing. And they all laughed at me.
Yeah.
I said, no, I'm serious. Anyone can fail once.
Yeah.
That requires no effort and no skill. But to have the talent of failing, you need to fall off the horse, get back up and try again.
Yeah.
Now this was a group of teenagers, they didn't give me much feedback then. But afterwards, 2 or 3 of them came up to me and they said, we think you're one of the most inspiring people that we've ever met. I just thought, hold on. All I did was make a turkey of myself on national TV. I didn't win it or anything like that. I just failed.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I just thought they were being nice about it.
Yeah.
But since the second group that came in saw it as well, I told them that.
Yeah.
And I also got a good reaction out of that group. And I've been telling the story to people ever since. I've told the story to prisoners, to doctors, lawyers, accountants, social workers, hundreds of school children. And I almost always get the same reaction. And it took me a really long time to work out why the story is important. And what I realised is that failure stops so many people.
Oh, totally.
There are so many people that won't apply for a better job, even if they hate their job, because they're scared of getting rejected.
Yeah.
A lot of people after work, if they're lonely, they won't say to their mates, do you want to come out for a drink or something like that, in case they get rejected.
Yeah, people are certainly afraid of failing. You know, no question. It stops people from doing what they really could do.
And it was only probably about 2 years after I'd been giving this talk to thousands of people that I started to realise the impact that this was having on people.
Yeah. So tell me now, do you still regret doing What did you say? Making a turkey of yourself on TV.
Well, the incredible thing is, I think, even if I'd done really well on the show, that would have been that, and it would have been over.
Yeah.
But by sharing the story of failure, I've been invited to speak all over New Zealand and to thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah.
So it's actually opened more doors for me than actually winning the thing probably would have.
Yeah. And I guess once you've confronted that kind of failure, I mean, what else is there to be scared of?
That's the brilliant thing. I did a TEDx talk last year, and people said, "Are you nervous?" I thought, well, not really, because even if I trip up as I walk up the stairs onto the stage, it doesn't matter. I've failed more spectacularly than that, so why not?
So what you're saying is that actually the process of failing has
Yes.
given you confidence.
It's liberating, because no matter what I do now, I cannot possibly fail that spectacularly ever again.
Wow. And actually, I mean, this must feel like a breeze to you. Yeah, I'll just go on TV. You know.
I was a little nervous before. I mean, I still get nervous.
Well, we're not going to humiliate you. And actually,
Fantastic.
those shows, gosh, they're horrible. They're really
Yes.
horrible to people.
They can be, yes.
So tell me, what are you doing now?
So I run an HR company, however, I call it my hobby, but it's a bit more than a hobby. I go around talking to people about failure.
Yeah.
And I could imagine that prisoners that have had some terrible experiences would like my story. But then I found business professionals like this.
Yeah.
And I realised even some incredibly successful people were always looking over their shoulder.
Yeah.
And they always thought, even if I've made millions of dollars, even if I've got a great reputation, what if tomorrow I fail?
Yeah.
People are always living with this.
And you have your own radio show.
I do, yes.
Yeah.
It's called Lighthouse of Hope and looks at various topics around mental illness.
Yeah. And mental illness has become a kind of prime topic for you, hasn't it?
Very much so. After doing some research, I found out that 1/3 to 1/2 of all suicides are not the result of a long history of depression. They're the result of what's called a same-day crisis, where someone experienced a breakup, they were fired from a job, or they were humiliated.
Right.
In other words, some kind of failure.
Yeah.
And we don't teach people how to fail in this country. When everyone runs a race at school, you get a certificate of participation. Even if you're dead last, you still get a certificate of participation.
Yeah.
In real life, if you experience a breakup, you do not get a certificate of participation.
Yeah.
But we protect people from failure. But then when they get out into the real world and they inevitably fail, people really struggle to manage that.
Yeah. What should we be doing? How should we be managing failure or preparing people for failure in the world?
People might think this is an odd thing to say. Let people fail.
Yeah.
Let people get used to failure.
Yeah.
The fear of failure is so much worse than actually failing. And when I failed on Britain's Got Talent, I remember thinking my career was going to be finished. Actually today I'm incredibly happy, I've got a great job, I got married last August,
Oh,
and
congratulations.
things are going well.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So although I thought it was going to ruin my life, it didn't.
Yeah. I think that is a great message for everyone in the world.